everyone, this is Joanna from Eureka Crystal Beads. Today I'd like to show you how to make this beautiful bracelet. This is a Rolo Cup Chain Bracelet. Okay, so here's what we'll need to make the bracelet. We need a length of the large size cup chain. You will need 2 lengths of the medium-sized Rolo chain, and you will need cord. So I've chosen these colors. I think they'll go nicely together. And lastly, we've chosen 2 beads that match this chain really nicely to finish off the closure. So you might be wondering, okay, well, how much do I cut? And especially, how much of this do I need? Because we want this to be a continuous piece for the bracelet to look good. So what I start with is the Rolo chain. You can just wrap it around your wrist and estimate. You can see there's a little gap, and that is just perfect because in the middle here is where the closure will be, the drawstring closure. So I measure this way, it's kind of eyeballing it, but it'll work really well. I cut that, and I cut my second one to the same size. And then after that, you can just take your cup chain and do the same, just cut the same length. So for me, this is about 6.5 inches. And so how much of this do we need, of the cord? I kind of do an estimation. What I do is take the cord and I get 7 times the length of the chain. So just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's the length you'll need. So we'll start with just the Rolo chain and the cord. Take one end, and you'll thread it through the first link of one of the chains and then through the other one. And then what you want to do is you want to center these on the cord. So the easiest way to do that is take your 2 ends and pull until you get it in the middle. Then what you'll be doing, and you'll be repeating this, you'll take one end, thread it through this link right here. You'll be skipping one link and going to the next one, and then skipping and going to the next, and you'll be repeating that throughout. So you'll take one end, thread it through the first link and then the second one on the second chain, and I'll just hold it here so it doesn't move, and pull it all the way through. Then you take this end, and you'll do the same thing in the opposite direction. So thread it through here. Let me lift this to make it a little easier. And through this one. And you'll thread this almost all the way through. But not quite, because now we need to put the cup chain in there. So you need just enough room to wedge it between the top cord, which is this one here, and the bottom one, which is this one here. So we'll just squeeze that right in between there. There we go. And now what you can do is pull, and that anchors that in place. So this looks a little messy up here. You have a few links that are falling down, but that's okay. That will resolve itself as we finish the bracelet. So the next step is, once again, we will skip the next link and go to the second one from where we have the cord. So once again, I'm taking this cord on this side. I'm threading it through the first one, going over the cup chain, and going through this link here, and threading it through. And the next one, you go in the opposite direction, but now what you need to do is make sure that this goes underneath the cup chain. So we'll flip it over, like so, and like so, sorry. And this is the cord that we need to thread through here. And right here. There we go. And pull all the way through, and that will anchor the next point. So we've gone all the way around this stone right here. Then we'll go to this one and so on. So I'll show you one more, and then I'll speed right through this so we can get to the end of the bracelet. So once again, take one end. We're skipping this link, going through this one, over the cup chain and through the next one, and pulling it through. You can flip over, take the other side of the cord, and go back in through the same links. This, over the cup chain, the back of the cup chain, and here, and pulling through. And then you'll have to wiggle that in place and make it tight so that it anchors that point. All right, I'm gonna go through the whole thing now, and I will show you how to finish it. So here I've gone and finished the entire length of bracelet, and as you can see I have plenty of cord left for the closure. What may happen is that you'll still have to go back and maybe take some pliers and start, pulling a little bit and working your way up to the closure to make sure that your loops here on the ends are nice and even, because sometimes what will happen is they'll, go out a little too much, and you want to work your way from the bottom where you started all the way to the closure and try and even that out. And then that will also give you some extra length in the cord. Another thing that could happen is that you may not have measured exactly the length of chain, so maybe you'll have a link or two left or an extra stone. And what I would suggest is I had some extra, so all you have to do is just snip it off and also take off the extra chain, and then you'll be ready to create your closure. So we'll flip this over and go back to where we began. This is where we started. And remember how I said that this was messy because the links were falling down? Well, we'll take the links back up and we'll be using those to complete our closure. Take one of the pieces of cord and we'll thread it through here and here. Just one and two. And pull that through. Take the other one and go in the opposite direction like we've been doing. So this will be a tighter squeeze because these two links have the cord going through it 3 times, and everywhere else in the bracelet it only goes in twice. So wiggle that right in, and there we go. And that's what it should look like. So the only thing we need to do now is add the finishing touch. You can take these seed beads. Got these large ones with a big hole. We need that big hole because we need to have the cord go through it. We'll thread that in right there and do a simple knot. Take the other one on the other side, thread that through, add a knot, and there you go. There's your finished bracelet. This is the back with your drawstring closure. You can wiggle that open. And the front, and just slips right on, like so. How nice is that? You can just pull here and here. And that's the finished product.